Meet up with people, from the Anarchist stuff and everything else, and try to find out who the infiltrators are for you guys, because we've also confronted a lot of police that have come out and have caused a bunch of crime and started a bunch of stuff. And so, do you know anything about that, or?
I know that there's going to be a really big protest in 2008, right fuck here.
2008?
Yeah. Bring whatever it is you're going to bring, but...
In 2008? It's 2010 right now.
Oh, right. ENC, 2012?
2012 you mean? Okay.
Yeah, 2012.
What can we look forward
That's
to?
That's going to be the next big one.
Yeah, well.
Right here.
We'll be out here covering it.
Oh, no. You should join.
Join. Where do I go to join?
You just show up on the street, man.
No websites or anything, or what?
There should be a few flyers around, like at the Hard Times Cafe. You should be able to look at a flyer, maybe snap a picture of it, take a copy home. But you just pretty much just show up.
Yeah. So what do you think? Have you seen any police or anybody else that's kind of gone undercover and kind of put a bandana on and created some damage and some chaos, like during the RNC? Were you out at the RNC?
I was not.
No?
But more commonly, people have gotten arrested for sitting in the park during the RNC. So, I don't know. Just bring
because we have interviewed officers that said they were given stand-down orders when people were causing some damage to private property in the city. Right. And that we've also got video of officers admitting that there were police officers that were undercover opposing as anarchists, and also starting a lot of the damage and a lot of the chaos going with it. So, right. Have you heard anything about that, or what do you think about it?
I did not hear a lot about that, but
because if that's true, the whole anarchist movement's been infiltrated.
True. Well,
so
you bring as much chaos as you're willing to start, man.
So, I mean, how do you think that chaos or the anarchist ideas are going to be able to help anything?
Civilian policing is an anarchist idea.
Okay.
So, if that's going to help anything, the rest of the anarchism might be a good idea.
Because we did talk about a lot of our anarchist things at the RNC, at pretty much any event where they're at, and I just fail to kind of see what the positive of any destruction or anything is. I mean, they always use that against us to get these $1 billion for any of these big events to come out and try to say that we're all a threat.
It's not about destruction, though. It's about not having any rules or authorities, which sometimes leads to destruction of rules and authorities.
Yeah, but it's mostly private business owners and private companies that end up getting the bulk of the problem. And what happens, though, in the real world is they end up getting funding and billions more dollars to be able to get modern technology like those electronic pulse machines and the blood boilers and the noise machines and things. So that's why they're getting all these resources, is because there are groups of people out there that are destroying things and going against the way. You guys don't think that maybe kind of a peaceful antic or a march or demonstration is getting any cause, anything, or?
I think the problem is that there's not enough people putting big bullets through the engine blocks of cop cars.
Well, I see that as a good last resort, but we're not to that point yet where America's, we've still got...
Well, where was Greece when they started, man?
Well,
I don't know.
Exactly. Where was Greece?
When they started.
When they started what? Their riots and things?
The riots, the anarchism, the overthrowing of the government.
Well, that's a good point. But we also have a lot of...
me with this on.
Sure. We also have a lot of... Let's have a lot of peaceful movements now.
No.
There are a lot of people. Have you heard of We Are Change?
Yeah, a little bit. Go for it.
I mean, that's kind of the same antics, basically a preparedness group that's standing up.
They're all racist.
Oh, they are. That's right. The SPLC,
a lot of them are.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, already. Racism has nothing to do with militias. Militia. Do you understand the origin of militias?
Yeah.
Okay.
Public defense.
Public defense.
People in the community that were ready and willing to defend it.
Yeah.
There's militias of all different races and ethnicities.
Yeah.
They got them over in Afghanistan and Iraq right now. I have a lot of respect and admiration for those militias. some of them might even hate white people too, but you know, that'll happen when white people abuse their area for so long, so
yeah.
I can forgive that, but you know, I don't know, I just figure why not unite on common ground.
So, I mean, you're more for V for Vendetta style, you know, blow up Parliament versus versus trying to get the goodwill nature of the American spirit
I
together.
Appreciate
That's
that,
exactly it.
I do too, but I see that as end result. You know what? If we can try everything peacefully and get something accomplished.
But it hasn't been working over the past 10
I know.
years.
But why don't you guys direct your attention towards like the elite families and the Bilderberg groups, the Council on Foreign Relations? Why don't you do it to the real scum?
Like the real
These guys right here
like the servants.
are not. These like the peasants
face.
of the elite.
Hello.
I mean, you guys can research like the Bilderberg groups, the Council on Foreign Relations. Just because one cop beats a guy, just because one officer goes out and beats somebody to death,
After the rooks
right?
and the kings and the pawns.
Torturing the police officer on the street is not going to do anything to the police chief.
When did I say I was going to?
No. I'm just saying though.
No, I'm just going to put him out of his misery. That's all.
I'm just saying though, with the whole anti-way, you're not really even attacking the guys that are making the rules. You're not even attacking the guys making the shots.
What we're doing is we're making it more expensive. And that's how
expensive.
These guys
It doesn't cost them any money. They make money out of nothing. They have the Federal Reserve. They have endless supply of money. Endless. So that what you're saying is you're getting something across because you're making them spend more money.
They have the
Come
same
on
amount
now.
of time that we do. They have the same amount of resources in this world as we do.
What?
And
I'm just saying
it's only if we both keep on pushing and grabbing as much resources as we can, eventually one side's going to give way to the other.
Eventually, and you know what's going to happen? All they have to do is have a market freeze, right? And freeze commerce for a week. That'll shut down all the trucking and commerce, right?
Right.
And a third of the population will die off because they do not have enough food to self-sustain themselves for a week. So if you're pushing these guys to see if they're going to back down, they're not going to back down. What we need to do is, I agree, we need to unite. All movements, we need to unite, okay?
Right.
But I think we need to do it peacefully, and we need to target it at the bad guys. Bad guys being members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg meetings, the attendees, the elite groups that control the Federal Reserve, that control Wall Street. The bad guys. Not everybody in government's bad. That woman I just got in the car here, Colleen Riley, are you familiar who she is?
No.
She's former FBI. She's the one that was involved with catching the Zacharias Moussaoui, the 20th hijacker. Remember that back in 2001?
Yeah.
All right. FBI inhibited her from preventing 9/11. All right. But she's out here. She had to resign from her job. She's coming out here and she's protesting peacefully because she agrees on the same thing you do. We need to restructure our government. We need less government. All government is bad. Big government's worse. All right. So when you've got these elitists that are controlling everything, and you're just beating up on the security guards, it's not affecting them at all. The only way we're going to get any change is if we make the lives of the elite uncomfortable. And nobody's going after the lives of the elite. Look at the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all the members on the Council on Foreign Relations. Go after them. Go after the guys. Make their lives uncomfortable.
All right.
So, I mean, you got my cards. I mean, get a little more research oriented with who the real bad guys are. Make their lives uncomfortable. Go after Coleman. Go after these guys directly, like, hey, we're right here. We're not going to get out of your way. We are American citizens, and we're not going to put up with your shit. Hold them accountable. Put a video camera in their face. Go up and give them a Constitution booklet.
Right.
Okay, let's go pee. So, I mean, that's kind of the ideas that we're taking with it all. Is we don't just say, okay, we're going to get pushed over. No, we're like, hey, sir, why are you involved with the Council on Foreign Relations? I don't need to walk. Why are you at Bohemian Grove? Why did you go to the Bilderberg groups? You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of our country, and you're going against the Constitution when you go to these secret private meetings.
Right.
Well, right? So it's not these guys. These guys are out here just doing their job, making their $50 grand a year to provide for themselves because they're stuck in the whole brainwash system. They're stuck in the matrix still. Yeah. They can't see what's really going on. And you got to understand that major media is completely telling you, look over here. Why? Because your foot's on fire.
Right.
If you're looking over here and you're on fire, you're not going to realize, hey, I should probably put my foot out from being on fire. Okay, I don't care what's going on in there. Let's look at the real problem. The real problem is what's really happening, and that's the elitists are controlling everything through our banking, through Wall Street.
Walk and talk now?
I got to get her to some. Oh, let's go find somewhere to go pee.
Let's walk and talk.
So.